Hi, we're back again today with another wine pairing. I hosted a little Super Bowl get together last night and we weren't really drinking a ton just because it was Sunday. But I did have a bottle of wine that I got from my local wine store called Verve. And I'm really excited about this one because it was so good and I'm excited for the pairing that I did for tonight. So the wine in question, we've got here a Bourgogne Chardonnay, which this is from Domaine Famille Paquet. So that's the estate or the vineyard that it's all grown on, and typically like the company name that you're buying it from. So Bourgogne Chardonnay is going to be considered like a white Burgundy. Again, wines that are from Europe or from the old world are going to be named more for the region. So this is actually an adaptation. We're saying a Bourgogne Chardonnay. So that's more digestible for us because it's talking about the grapes that it's grown with, the Chardonnay grapes, and then also talking about Bourgogne, which is the Burgundy province or the Burgundy region in France. If it wasn't labeled this way, you might also see something like this called a white Burgundy. It's still using 100% Chardonnay grapes, so that's why both kind of work, and this is where understanding just the different terminologies makes a big difference in your understanding of wine and what it is that you're drinking. Because I think even 6 months ago, you told me I was drinking a Bourgogne Chardonnay. I would think it's a Chardonnay, but I would have no idea that it's also considered a white Burgundy. So again, the white indicating that it's white grapes that are being used, and Burgundy for the region in France. Okay, so I already tried this one. I opened it last night. It is, okay, well, I'm spoiling it, but so this one, let me take a sip first. This one was, I think, $27. And smelling it, it's, you can tell it's dry. You can also tell that it's a little bit minerally. It's not super fruit forward, but there is a tartness there. And again, I'm doing this out of order because I've already tried it. So typically you would smell it first, try to identify those different notes that you're smelling. I just had the answers to the test. It's got a little bit of like maybe a green apple or citrusy aroma to it. And again, it's very dry. So you're not getting a ton of fruit. You're not getting a ton of sweetness. There is a little bit there. It's also really smooth. This to me has a really great balance of minerality, which to me brings it like literally down to earth. It kind of balances out that tartness and that dryness. And so the pairing that we're doing today, I made a Castelvetrano pesto. So it's just got Castelvetrano olives, some Parmesan, some, what else did I put in here? Some pistachios. It's got a little lemon juice, basil, some parsley and garlic. I think that's it. And then just like salt and pepper. I didn't put too much thought into how well these would pair, but it's a little bit brighter. It's not super creamy, although Chardonnays can be pretty good for like a really creamy dish. So I've read. It's got like a false creaminess. It doesn't come from like butter or any type of dairy product, but because you're blending up all those ingredients together, the texture, it reads a little bit more creamy than like a tomato without any type of dairy in it would. Like a tomato sauce, I mean, because it's a huge bite, but we're just gonna go for it. Perfectly al dente. I like mine a little bit more tart, so I put a little more lemon than some people might like. But that's just my preference. Okay. The garlic is very forward. I think next time I would roast the garlic first because I just did 3 cloves of raw. And it tastes fine, but it's just a little bit, like I can tell I'm gonna wake up with some kicking breath tomorrow. Okay, so let's try the wine right after that. Ooh. So it was smooth before, but this makes it taste even smoother. I don't know if it's like the Parmesan or what, but this just goes down like a dream. That is so good. Okay, we're gonna try one more bite of this and see if it affects the flavor of the food, because it's the effect of the food on the wine is always really obvious to me. The effect of the wine on the food typically takes me a little bit longer. I need a little guidance from people to kind of understand and to really taste what it's doing to the food. Yeah, I think if anything, it brings out a little bit more brightness in here. So maybe I would do just a touch less lemon, because when you pair these together, this is like bright, it's dry, it's a little bit acidic, it's actually quite acidic. And maybe just a little bit less lemon in there would make it easier for this to bring out more of the flavors that the lemon is already bringing out in the pesto. This meal combo is actually very, very good. And this, I don't know, I feel like this seems kind of fancy. I just blended all the ingredients together in a little food processor. And then once the pasta was done cooking, I threw it in there and did just a little bit of pasta water so that it all combines really well. Maybe the whole thing took me like 15-20 minutes. So that being said, it's a really easy pairing. It feels kind of fancy. A lot of the times I feel like pasta can be one of two ways. It either comes off as very, very fancy because you've done all the time to prep for it, you have a very specific sauce method, so on and so forth, or it can come off as like kind of a lazy cheat meal. I think this one, it's reading more on the feels kind of bougie side, even though it didn't take that much to prepare. Oh, I also put anchovies in this, which not a ton, like 2 fillets. Fillets? 2 of them. But yeah, this is a really good pairing. I would say that the Bourgogne Chardonnay from Domaine Famille Paquet, I also pronounce all of these. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I think Bourgogne I know is right, but I'm just gonna show you one more time. Famille, that seems right in French. Paquet, I don't know where the accent lies on that. Anyway, this meal was really good. I'm gonna rate this maybe an 8.5 out of 10. I'm really excited for when we start getting into the 9 point range. But thanks for joining. If you want the recipe for this Castelvetrano pesto, let me know. Cheers.